There is a clip of Trump that I've been wanting to play for you, and then we'll use it as a jumping off point to review some similar brain melting sorts of instances in recent days. And this is just sort of for fun, because on the serious issues, like for example, we talked about in the Fox News Trump town hall, him blatantly lying, saying that Kamala Harris had notes in front of her in the CNN interview. She didn't. We checked. She didn't. You can just so easily look up, wide shot, you see the table, no notes. But a part of me thinks he almost wished that into existence and saw it in his mind's eye, aside from the likelihood that he was being dishonest. And so with all the dangers and serious things, you also have this more lighthearted, it sometimes is worthy of laughter thing related to his struggles to just think in some of these settings. And that's what I want to show you. We already did a deep dive in this Lex Freeman podcast, but one moment that has been circulating by itself is him getting asked, what's something positive that you can say about Democrats, about those on the left? And it's as if he was not asked that question, because what he says is incomprehensible.
But on the previous thing, in the spirit of unity, you used to be a Democrat. Yeah. Setting the politicians aside, what do you respect most about people who lean left, who are Democrats themselves or of that persuasion, progressives, liberals, and so on?
Well, look, I respect the fact that everybody's in there. And, to a certain extent, life is what you do while you're waiting to die, so you might as well do a good job. I think in terms of what's happening now, I think, we have a chance to save the country. This country's going down. And I called it with Venezuela. I called it with a lot of different countries. And this country's going down.
We're going to watch that again, because what? What did he just say? The first few seconds is the part that has been going viral. And so I went and pulled up the full interview thinking, surely someone cut context out. But that was the full answer. And I'll even play it further the second time we watch. There's no context that makes it make any more sense. What can you say positively about Democrats? Well, they're all in there and we're all waiting to die. They're in where? What? It makes me feel dumb. It does, because I think I must be mishearing, and someone out there's going to go, Luke, what he said was so obvious. He's saying they're in there, and there is obviously... But I don't think I'm the one mishearing this.
That persuasion, progressives, liberals, and so on.
Well, look, I respect the fact that everybody's in there. And, to a certain extent, life is what you do while you're waiting to die, so you might as well do a good job. I think in terms of what's happening now, I think, we have a chance to save the country. This country's going down. And I called it with Venezuela. I called it with a lot of different countries. And this country's going down. If we don't win this election, the election coming up on November 5th is the most important election this country's ever had. Because if we don't win it, I don't know that there'll be another election. And it's going to be a communist country. Or close.
And that's the whole answer. And then...
There's a lot of people listening to this, myself.
Lex Freeman goes on to ask a question about how he doesn't buy that Kamala Harris is communist. But on that, what's something positive you can say about Democrats and the left? I respect that they're... No, he doesn't say respect. He said, well, they're all there. Am I mishearing? In there is what I'm hearing. Okay. I don't know where, in where. I don't know what we're talking about. And then... And in some respect, we're all just doing the best we can until we die. And so we should do a good job. And then he goes on saying, again, we're going to be a communist country. Yeah, that's not the way you answer that question. By the way, you're probably thinking, well, Luke, could you do that? What's something you respect about Republicans? I personally, here's what Trump could have said, but the reverse, and this is authentically coming from me. I personally know a bunch of people who are probably going to vote for Trump, unfortunately. Almost every single one of them loves their family. I think they're misled about what's best for their family. And I'm sure Trump's able to tap into some hateful feelings they have about different things. But I know they think they're doing what's best for themselves and their family. And they're motivated based off of that so often. And they're good-hearted people. True and very easy, okay, in terms of an answer he could have given. But he glitches out and says words that make absolutely no sense. Now, him making absolutely no sense in the last couple of weeks is nothing new.
You take a look at bacon and some of these products, and some people don't eat bacon anymore. And we are going to get the energy prices down. When we get energy down, you know, this was caused by their horrible energy wind. They want wind all over the place. But when it doesn't blow, we have a little problem.
So he doesn't comprehend how wind energy works and how you can store the energy generated. That's scary. He thinks people aren't eating bacon because of wind energy. But we're producing record oil production alongside investments in renewable energy. So how that could cause the problems he's talking about, I don't know. And then you have, this is bad audio quality, I apologize, but just a crazy claim.
Things that almost nobody in this room wants, who I think 85-90% of the country doesn't want if they actually
I absolutely
know about
agree
it.
with you.
But the transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And you know, many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me?
Yeah, first of all, childs, Donald. But also that's not happening. Your kids aren't going to school and coming back a few days later with a sex reassignment surgery. That's not happening. It's not. So stop freaking out about it, because it's not happening. It's a fake story. And what's weird is there are real conversations to be had about this, and good faith, compassionate people are having them. And then Trump comes in, says stuff like that, and you actually end up, in his case, even if I were giving him strategic advice, which I shouldn't, it's actually harming his point on that to say such outlandish things. If you believe the information delivered on this show is valuable and you want to support in an easy, free way the work that we do, you can do it by clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Back to the video. But don't forget that he's actually doing something really smart whenever he makes all these bizarre, rambly points.
You know, I do the weave. You know what the weave is? I'll talk about like 9 different things, and they all come back brilliantly together. And it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors, they say, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? He rambled.
Yeah. And you have this doozy from recently.
And as you deserve, a president who respects you, talks to you, and who levels with you, puts it right on the level, and who always has your best interests and has your back. I have your back, I have your heart, and I have every other part of your body.
What makes that want to come out of your mouth? I don't know. By the way, Seth Meyers does his great closer look. Some of this was inspired by, he went through recently and played a bunch of these clips just to credit even the order we went through. And in watching them so closely together instead of individually at events, it makes it even more clear how much he's losing grip of reality and of his own ability to communicate whenever you see back to back. This is just a little bonus thing he posted on Truth Social.
Going to win New Jersey. I believe it's after I see what OJ and LT did in Wildwood, and from what I'm hearing, getting in the communities, I think he's going to take New Jersey and New York. I really believe that, you know. Everybody see what's going on. People ain't fooled no more.
I like this man.
Sort of looks like a hostage video. The way they very stoic in his delivery there, but Trump has also asserted that before, that he would potentially win New Jersey, and he said New York. Crazy. Unlikely. And then last little random miscellaneous clip.
Federal abortion bill if it came across your desk. Is that
Well, you
right?
don't need it.
You won't need it, but hypothetically if it
Well,
did.
I don't want to answer a hypothetical. You don't need it.
He won't answer if he'd veto a national abortion ban. That's not a brain fart, by the way. That's just him not wanting to take that off the table. So remember this, people. When he tries to act like that's completely off the table, if it were, he'd say that, yeah, if somehow Congress passed that, I'd veto it. But he notoriously doesn't keep promises or stick to a position. So his current stance of I would never make it anything other than a states thing, still a bad position, but he thinks it's going to come off as more moderate to people. We still should not believe him on that. So that's sort of your miscellaneous and a reminder of Trump's bizarre goings-on at events recently. Let me know what you thought of it and click the join button if you want to become a member.